Ireland's history is a tale of resilience, culture, and transformation. Located in the North Atlantic, Ireland has been home to humans for thousands of years. Early settlers arrived around 10,000 years ago during the Mesolithic period, living as hunter-gatherers. Over time, they transitioned to farming during the Neolithic period, leaving behind remarkable monuments like Newgrange, a prehistoric tomb older than the pyramids of Egypt. By the Iron Age, Celtic tribes had firmly established themselves on the island of Ireland. These tribes brought with them a rich tapestry of language, oral traditions, and cultural practices that would define Irish identity for centuries. The Celts introduced the Gaelic language, which became the foundation of Irish literature and storytelling. Their society was organised into clans, each ruled by a chieftain, and they practiced a polytheistic religion that worshipped nature and a pantheon of gods and goddesses. The Celtic influence is evident in Ireland's intricate artwork, such as the iconic Celtic knots and its enduring myths, including tales of Siche Lane and the Tuatha De Danann. The arrival of Christianity in the 5th century marked one of the most significant transformations in Irish history. It is believed that St. Patrick, a former slave who returned to Ireland as a missionary, played a pivotal role in converting the Irish to Christianity. He is credited with using the shamrock to explain the concept of the Holy Trinity and with driving out the snakes from Ireland, a metaphor for the decline of pagan practices. With the spread of Christianity, monasteries began to flourish across the island. These monasteries were not only religious centres but also hubs of education, art, and culture. Monks meticulously copied manuscripts, preserving both Christian texts and ancient knowledge. The Book of Kells, an illuminated manuscript created during this period, stands as a masterpiece of Celtic Christian art. This blending of Christian beliefs with Celtic traditions created a unique spiritual and cultural identity for Ireland. The spread of Christianity also connected Ireland to the broader European world, influencing its development and laying the groundwork for the island's future as a centre of learning and artistic achievement. This era set the stage for Ireland's reputation as a land of saints and scholars. The 12th century marked a pivotal moment in Ireland's history with the arrival of the Normans. In 1169, Norman knights, invited by an Irish king seeking help in a local power struggle, landed on Irish shores. Their success in battle led to the involvement of King Henry II of England, who declared himself Lord of Ireland in 1171. This event began centuries of English influence over Irish affairs. The Normans brought significant changes, including the construction of stone castles, the establishment of walled towns, and the introduction of new agricultural methods. However, their control was limited mostly to the eastern part of the island, known as the Pale, while Gaelic traditions and rule persisted in other areas. By the 16th and 17th centuries, English rulers sought to consolidate their control over Ireland. This period saw attempts to impose Protestantism on the predominantly Catholic population, particularly under King Henry VIII and Queen Elizabeth I. The confiscation of land from Irish Catholic lords and its redistribution to English and Scottish Protestant settlers, known as the plantations, created deep divisions. The province of Ulster, in particular, experienced large-scale settlement, forever altering its demographic and cultural landscape. These efforts to enforce English rule and Protestant dominance led to widespread resentment and resistance among the Irish rebellions, such as the 9 Years' War 1594–16 and the Irish Rebellion of 1641, became defining moments of this era. In response, English authorities often employed brutal tactics to suppress uprisings, exacerbating tensions. The wars and repressions resulted in significant loss of life, displacement, and the erosion of traditional Gaelic society. The legacy of this period left a profound impact on Ireland. The religious and political divisions created during these centuries fueled conflicts that persisted for generations, shaping the complex relationship between Ireland and England. It was a time of profound upheaval but also resilience, as Irish culture and identity endured despite the challenges. The 19th century was a tumultuous time for Ireland, marked by profound social and economic hardship. The Great Famine, also known as the Irish Potato Famine, was one of the most devastating events in the country's history. Beginning in 1845, a potato blight destroyed the staple crop that millions of Irish people depended on for survival. Over the next 7 years, approximately 1 million people died from starvation and disease, while another 2 million were forced to emigrate in search of a better life. The famine exposed deep flaws in the governance of Ireland under British rule. Relief efforts were slow and often inadequate, and policies that prioritised exporting food from Ireland during the crisis fueled anger and resentment. Entire villages were abandoned as families fled the country, leaving behind a landscape scarred by hunger and loss. The Irish diaspora that emerged from this tragedy profoundly shaped global history. Millions of Irish emigrants found new homes in countries like the United States, Canada, and Australia. In these lands, they faced initial prejudice but eventually integrated into local communities, contributing significantly to the cultural, political, and economic development of their adopted nations. In the United States, for example, Irish immigrants played a key role in building infrastructure, such as railroads and bridges, and became influential in labor movements and politics. The famine left a deep imprint on Ireland's collective memory, fostering a sense of resilience and determination among its people. It also intensified calls for Irish independence, as the population increasingly viewed British rule as exploitative and indifferent to Irish suffering. The hardships of the 19th century, particularly the famine, became a rallying point for movements seeking self-governance and equality, setting the stage for future struggles in Ireland's quest for national identity and autonomy. The 20th century marked a turning point in Ireland's history as the long-standing struggle for independence from British rule came to a head. The Easter Rising of 1916 was a pivotal event, where Irish Republicans launched an armed insurrection in Dublin to demand independence. Though the rebellion was suppressed within a week, it galvanised public sentiment and became a symbol of Ireland's fight for self-determination. Following the Rising, the Irish War of Independence broke out in 1919. This guerrilla war, led by the Irish Republican Army (IRA), targeted British forces and infrastructure. After years of violence and negotiations, the Anglo-Irish Treaty was signed in 1921, creating the Irish Free State as a self-governing dominion within the British Commonwealth. However, the treaty caused divisions among Irish leaders, sparking a civil war between pro-treaty and anti-treaty factions. The treaty also resulted in the partition of Ireland, with 6 northern counties remaining part of the United Kingdom as Northern Ireland. This division reflected deep-seated religious and political differences between the predominantly Protestant Unionists and Catholic nationalists. The split has had lasting social and political implications, fueling tensions and conflicts throughout the 20th century. In 1949, Ireland declared itself a republic, officially severing ties with the British Commonwealth and becoming fully independent. This move solidified the country's sovereignty, allowing it to forge its path on the international stage. Meanwhile, Northern Ireland remained under British control, leading to decades of unrest known as the Troubles, which erupted in the late 1960s. Today, Ireland is known for its vibrant culture, music, and literature, with figures like W.B. Yeats and James Joyce celebrated worldwide. Its history, though marked by struggles, is also a testament to the resilience and creativity of its people.